So last time we got to the point where you were printing a state of a tic-tac-toe game. That's correct?
Yes, a blank board.
Yeah, all right. So, oh, 1 second. I'm just getting it over on this machine. All right. You want to pull up your code and screen share?
I'm sure. Am I going to be watching you for the start or no?
Um, oh yeah, you know what? Let me screen share.
Well, I can show you what I have. Yeah.
I mean, I actually, here, you screen share first, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change mine so that my state matches yours. Um, let's see. Okay, I am gonna put this on screen 9. Do I need this? No, no. Okay. Okay, that's right. So you had, okay, so for you, we were doing the list of lists approach because that was easiest. Okay, so, okay, I remember. Okay, and let me just run mine and just prints out the empty board. Okay. Um, okay, so I think the next thing we should do is just start a loop, is start an input loop, and get like what move the user wants. So, put down, the coordinates of whatever place you want to put, alternate between X's and O's turn. And then, we'll have some notation for, what square the user wants to move to. And I think, and then we will just put down, we won't like check whether or not it's a legal move at first or whether the game terminates. It'll just be an infinite loop. And then we'll go from there. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So I'm actually here. So unshare, or maybe we can do 2 shares here. Okay. Jeff Thompson will stop sharing content as soon as I start sharing. I see. Okay. Okay. Beautiful. I'm gonna put this on screen 3. Okay. So mine, it gets the empty board, formats the board, prints it. So we have to think about the game state. So I'm going to introduce a type or a syntax that you're probably not familiar with. So, and I'll explain this in a second. Um, whose turn? Is that how you spell whose? I'm just going to say turn. And then the board, which is a board. Mm, okay, and then type game state. um, okay, now I'm going to write out. So what I did, this is called a record, and literally all this is, so this isn't like a real thing. This is a hack that the compiler has implemented. How do I get this to go away? There we go. So let's say this is going to be an example, GSX, and then, the, um, the board. I'm just not going to try that. So it's literally just going to write as a tuple. The first atom is going to be GX and X and a board. But what this does is it provides a little bit of a syntax, and we'll see it in a second. So um, game loop, which is going to take game state, and it will have no return. So game loop, and basically, depending on the state, we kind of decide what to do. So the way that we access a record, so again, we could just do, you know, game state, whose turn, and the board. But what this record syntax, and this is most useful when you have, a state that has 15, fields, and you don't have to write up the tuple the whole time. You can just do gs hash gs. This is just again syntax that the compiler rewrites to a tuple. Turn equals whomst, and board equals board. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to print the board and print the board. Okay. IO format. Board. Oh, board. So far, I'm just doing nothing new. The game loop just prints the board. Um, the game loop just prints the board, and then we're going to ask the user for input, and then just print the input. So we'll just do this. So OK is equal to, yeah. So it is, oh my God. Yes, get line. Okay. 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 Um, Prompt. Oh, okay. We need to format the prompt first. Whomst. Then, okay. Okay. Then we're going to do case. So, user input is equal to this. Then we're going to do case user input of um, EOF. Just going to say that.
EOF.
It stands for end of file.
Hmm.
So basically, Okay, you remember that ASCII table I showed you?
Yep.
Okay, so one of the characters, I think it's character 0, basically means there is no more input. And so if it reads that, that it reads as end of file. So you know how like when you're in the terminal and you hit Control D and it closes the terminal?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so um, what that does, think Control D, it deletes the character in front of the cursor. And if it deletes that, I can't remember exactly, but basically if it deletes and it tries to delete an end of file, it like sends an end of file character to the shell, and the shell goes, oh, okay, well, the user wants to exit. It's kind of weird, but that's like the way that computers work at that level of abstraction. I might be completely wrong. Um, I'm just um, and then what is they redid all the documentation, and so I think a string as far as this is concerned just is a normal list of characters. Okay. Um, okay. So I'm going to say um, what is it? It's string chomp, right? Okay, I'm actually just gonna, okay, you know what I'm gonna do? Then game loop. Um, New state. So all this is gonna do is alternate turns. Is okay, and what do I need to write? I need to write so let's walk through this logic one at one. So all we're gonna do, let me start write the whole function. Um, okay, so starting from main, I want you to walk me through the logic of what this is doing.
Oh boy. Okay. So main game loop is game state. I'm assuming.
If I do this, this is syntax you don't know. This this will go to GS, X, and empty
Okay.
because these are the default fields up here. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Empty game loop, game state. Yep. Okay. That's fine. Game loop state equals GS turn whomst. That's going to tell whose turn it is. The board equals the state of the board. Um, if everything goes well and there's no errors, it prints the board on the screen. And then to move whomst. Oh, it's a whomst to move. So that'll indicate whose turn it is. And then it wants you to input the move. Use input get line. So I'm assuming it gets the input at that
Yeah, it's
point.
like when you type something into the Erlang shell and like it'll just have a place where you input the text and then when you hit enter it'll return. Does that make sense? That's what
Yeah,
get
yeah,
modi
yeah.
does.
Okay, so it's just to get an input from the user. Um, Standard prompts, IO format, user input. So it states what they put in as their input. And then it changes the state of the board and changes the turn to opposite of whom. So if it was X's turn, it'll change it to O. And then it starts it over again with the new state, the new turn, and the new board state.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Let's run it. I'm not gonna type that on YouTube. Jeff, cool it with the anti-Semitic remarks. Okay.
Okay.
Um,
These go on YouTube?
I've been putting them on YouTube. Do you want me to take them down?
No, that's fine. I don't mind. I just had no idea.
Okay. So if I
What's your YouTube?
it's the channel is called No BS Crypto Development. Um,
All right, everybody
and
give
I,
No
I
BS
just
Crypto Development a like and a subscribe. Make sure you comment on the video.
yeah, I will never I cannot bring myself to say such things. I also could never do ad reads. That just would never. Nope. Nope. I if I ever get to the point where people are offering me ad money, the deal I would make would be, okay, send me your product in the mail. Now my attitude might change if they wave a giant check in front of my face, so who knows? Um, but it would be, okay, send me your product in the mail, and if it's good, I will tell people it's good, and if it sucks, I will tell people that it sucks. But you don't have to pay me. Anyway, so so as far as the move, the syntax for where what square, what I'm actually going to do is I'm gonna have it be. Is this too complicated? Am I making it too complicated? I was thinking I would use chess notation for the squares, so like A1, A2, A3, but I think
No,
that
I
that's
mean,
actually,
it's a little late for that. I mean, we should have done that when we were putting the coordinates in for the board for the other section, no?
yeah, yeah, we should have. Well, I mean, the syntax that the user does inputs, converting that to a row and a column is not difficult. I'm just, you know what, that's just going to be the easiest thing from the user's perspective. So actually, okay, so first of all, I'm gonna pause here and I want you to get your thing to the same point here where, okay, I have a record or a type that says whose turn it is and what the state of the board is, and then get just arbitrary input from the user. We're not going to do anything with that input and just cycle whose turn it is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so just everything that
Uh,
you've done up until this point.
yep. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing. Am I recording?
Yeah,
I
I
am.
see it.
Okay, thank God. Okay, good. I invited Jarvis. I don't know. It's like 7:15 in the morning. His thing says he's awake, but he could just be, well, he can't watch porn because you need an ID to do that in Australia. But he
Damn.
could, he could be reading porn, I suppose.
Okay, and where does this go? Just like underneath main, we're changing main?
Um, sure. I would put game loop right after main.
Oh, right after
Basically,
main.
like the way that I think about it is like you think about it from the perspective of somebody reading your program. Okay, first thing they're going to look for is main, so that should be at the top of the file. Okay, and then the next thing, or then their whatever main references, that should go next. So basically, like things should be presented in the order in which people need to see them if they're trying to understand your program. Code is read far more often than it is written, and far more often than it's run.
Mm.
Well,
Okay,
not
fair
that's
enough.
not necessarily true. It depends on the type of program.
So
There's
the
some
first
programs
step
that are
is
run.
that GS thing at the top.
Yeah, I
So
can show you
it's,
the
what is
syntax
it,
for
like
that.
hashtag GS?
Almost. So that's how you construct one. To tell the compiler that that's what you mean, you type minus record,
Okay,
open paren, gs,
okay,
comma, and then new line, and get so that your cursor is under the G. Open curly.
open curly.
Yes.
Hang on. Nope.
Hit the shift key. There you go. Okay. Why did you delete it right after you got it? Okay. Um, Open curly, and then whatever you want to call the fields. I called them turn and board.
Um, okay. So turn,
And
board.
then, yeah, that is totally valid syntax. You can actually just give the field the records. So I gave them default values and types. However, you can even just give them names. That actually is valid syntax. And older versions of Erlang only had um, support for the fields having labels. But what I would do is turn space equals space
X.
x and then space colon colon uh, space x space pipe space o, and then
Okay.
comma, new line, and then its board is equal to, I think you called it, what did you call it? Empty board. Board equals empty board open close paren. Yeah.
Empty board. Yeah. Damn it, man. Okay.
And then space colon colon board open close paren. And then close curly, close paren, and then period. Then new line, and then go all the way back to the beginning of the line. Oh,
No.
okay. So if you use Vim and you're in insert mode all the time, that's you basically just not using Vim. But I guess you're you know what, I'm not gonna we have too many things. Um, yeah, do dash type game state or state, whatever you want to call it, open close paren, and then it's hash gs, open close curly, and then period. Okay, now and then save. Okay, and then just run it.
I was trying to figure out how to do that. What is that?
Okay, so dot means the directory. So hit type echo dot, echo echo space dot. Um, Type echo. Oh, okay. No, no, no. Sorry. I'm dumb. Um, anyway, dot just means the current directory. So like type ls space dash l dash a space minus l lowercase l. Oops. Um, Actually, minus la is fine. L means long listing, A means all. So scroll up a little. Okay, you see dot and dot dot are the first. So dot just means the current directory, dot dot means the parent directory. So
Okay.
about half the requests on my web server are to dot dot slash dot dot slash dot dot slash dot dot slash etc slash password.
Okay. I
So
think it
like it's
froze.
somebody trying. Oh, Am
Yeah.
I talking?
The,
Can you hear me? Can you
yeah,
hear
I can
me?
hear you. The virtual machine froze though.
Your cursor's still moving in the virtual machine.
And my cursor's moving on my Mac. This isn't the virtual machine cursor.
Okay. You saved the file, so just power, maybe right click somewhere, just reboot the virtual machine. That's going to be the simplest approach. Yeah. Anyway, dot dot means go to the parent directory. So like after a request to my web server are to dot dot slash dot dot slash dot dot slash where they're trying to escape from the directory in which like the files are served from and trying to like get out and like get my system configuration files because a lot of like really poorly configured web servers will allow for that sort of thing to occur, right?
Yeah.
Um, you would be surprised how many web servers that works on. It's an alarming number. Um, okay. Okay. So just go over and so it's dot slash is the point. So dot means current directory slash and then TTT.
Dot slash GTT.
Yeah, that just means I mean TTT. Okay, function list chords. We'll use it in a minute. Okay, so it currently doesn't do anything different. Um, why don't let next step? How about you make an empty game state and print that? So go to back to Vim, and can you do me a favor real quick, actually?
Hmm.
Colon Q to get out of Vim. Type Vim space tilde slash dot vimrc. And see where it says set number and it's commented out.
Yeah.
It's, yeah, go down to that line and delete the quote to uncomment that line. And then right quit. Okay, now open TTT again. I just hate it. It's annoying having to tell you to turn on line numbers every time. Okay, perfect. All right, so on line 4, change that so that it makes the default game state and prints that. And then we'll worry about a loop.
Makes the default game state. What? How do I do that?
Um, it's just hash gs open close. That's the default game state. I would even open a new line above that and say initial game state is equal to, oh, if you hit star, it goes to the next occurrence of that symbol. So that's what is going on there. You accidentally hit Shift 8 instead of Shift O. Open, close, curly, then hit enter or and save and run it. Compilation errors. Scroll up. Oh, okay. The reason is go over to line 2. Oh, my monitor keeps going asleep. Hit capital O to start a new line above. And dash minus mode mode open paren compile close paren period. And then make a new line between them if you want. And then save. So what that does is it compiles the whole script before trying to run it rather than rather Uh-oh. Oh, you know what? Your types and your records do need to go before the function in which they're used, apparently. Okay, so just go down to line 8, and hit 3DD. Oh, hit U. 3DD, you hit 2DD. Okay, and then go back up and paste those above main. It's P for paste. There you go. Okay, and then and if for hygiene, I would put your types between the record and main, but that's up to you how you want to do that. Okay, cool. Now try running it. Bad argument. Okay, what's the issue? What does this error mean? Don't just like go to the error and go, oh, oh no, it's an error. Like read the error and figure out what the error means. That's like the most important.
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
It's an error. Peter's going to tell me as soon if I wait long enough.
That is true, but the
Argument
goal of
two
this is
element must be of type string in GSX. Okay. So main GS needs to be of type string. Wait. So the board needs to be a string. It's not a string
yeah. So why does it think the board needs to be a string?
because we're putting it in IO format.
What it has to do with what is in the first argument to IO format. What's in the quote?
Oh, S. It can't be string. So what do we put instead?
Tilde P. P means pretty print. And you don't need a space between tilde P and tilde N. That just puts a space. It just prints a space. Okay, now try it. Cool.
Oh, it's
All
not
right.
like one above the other anymore.
No, it isn't because it's not a long enough state. It just here it basically makes an educated guess. But you see how it's literally just a fucking tuple. And
Mm-hmm.
the default values and you know, all of that is just, quality of life stuff to make your life a little easier, but it's not doing anything crazy or magical. And this is why we like Erlang, by the way. Um, Most of us who are like core devs is because it's a really simple language. It doesn't do anything magical. It doesn't surprise you. Well, it does sometimes, but like it does a lot less crazy shit than most languages. A lot of languages really try to outsmart you and try to, quote, make your life easier, unquote, and then end up doing things that confuse you and make it harder for you to do your job. And Erlang doesn't do that. It just does kind of the most obvious and straightforward thing most of the time. Sometimes it does weird shit, like random things like the record needs to be defined before main, like weird shit like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, next, next step. Okay, so given that we've printed out the game state, um, we should probably start the loop thing. And for your first loop, okay, so start writing your game loop. Maybe first write the type spec for it. So I would put it after main would be your loop. I would have main be your first function and then the loop be the second one.
Um,
Why does my screen keep going to sleep after 2 seconds?
so we're gonna make a game loop. GS hashtag GS.
That actually would work, but the whole point of making the alias for on line 9 was that so you can use it in this precisely this situation.
So we do want hashtag GS.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so that's
Well,
good.
well, you would need hashtag GS open close curly.
Right.
Um, I would instead write state open close paren because the whole point of that alias was so that like somebody reading this is going to go, GS, what the hell is that? But if it's a state, oh, okay, that's state.
Well,
Okay, and
fuck them. I
then
don't want them reading my code anyway.
well, you should write Rust. Goes to state, and then this you can either say I would say goes to what I wrote was no under return, no underscore return, open close paren, period. Okay. And that just means that, yeah, you get the point. Okay, now, um, so we're going to need to change it, right? So any value that you're going to need to change, you should give it a name. So I would call it state or game state, whatever. It needs to be uppercase. And then state is, and then you're probably going to want to pull out whose turn it is and the board. So that state equals hash GS, open curly, turn or whatever the fields were called, turn equals whomever, and board is equal to board. That's correct. And then, okay, then close curly, close open, and then hit goes to. Okay, now given that your line is too long to fit on the screen, what you should, okay, that's one approach. The approach that a European would take would be between whomst and board, replace that space with a new line, and then get board to align with turn. This is a little bit overkill for this situation, and then, maybe make your, yeah, you don't have to do that, but given that your lines were a little too long, that's what I would do. Okay, next, okay, so what do we do in the game loop? What does mine do in terms of the actual, like, the user experience? That should be a 4 space indent, like not aligned with the, there you go. There you go. One thing about a functional program, the reason that functional, like a lot of especially higher IQ programmers tend to like functional languages is because it allows you to think in this way, okay, I'm just going to imagine that there is a routine that solves this problem. So like probably what you're thinking is, oh, the first thing I need to do is what? Print the board? Is that what you're thinking? You there?
Am I muted? Oh, fuck.
Yes.
You didn't hear my babblings on. I'm stuck and I don't know what to do.
Okay. Um, So
Okay
probably
equals
what you think.
something. I figured, okay, I was like going through my head. I'm like, okay, user input. Like, did we get the input now? And I'm like, wait, not yet. I don't know. Okay equals something though.
Okay,
Okay.
IO colon format returns okay, the atom okay, assuming it worked.
Mm,
That's so it's just there's this convention in Erlang where you always just there's not really any good reason to. It's just, I guess, an autism thing of when we have like an IO format call, it should return okay, and so you just assert that it equals okay. But
okay.
the situation in which IO format fails is like crazy things that are extremely unlikely on modern computers, like your device running out of memory when you try to print to the screen, or really really insane things like that.
Okay.
Um, so you were, I think you're wanting to print the board, right?
Yeah. I don't have a function for
Okay.
that though.
Okay, so just pretend you do. So just write print board of current board.
Do I have current board? Oh, I do. Current board.
Okay. And then maybe next thing you want to do is what? You can think in terms of the high level steps and write out your function in terms of the high level steps and then think about the details later. And it allows you to kind of separate your problem like that. Okay, so now
Okay.
that you've printed the board, what's the next thing I need to do?
I need to get an input from the user.
Okay, so just say input is equal to get user input.
Input, input equals. Oh wait, is IO format?
It's not IO format for now. Just literally pretend like you're just write a function called get user input.
Okay.
Just pretend that that's a solved problem, that you have a function called get user input. Okay. And with mine, it needed to know whose turn it was because it says X or O to play, right?
Right. Okay.
Okay, user input. And then what was the next thing that mine does?
Um, I don't know. I guess this isn't, I'm overthinking this.
Yeah, this is not something you want to overthink. There are going to be things later that we're going to need to overthink. This is not one of them. Just do tilde p for now and then tilde n. Yep, there you go. And then,
Oh
mm-hmm,
wait.
yep, you need a comma between those, but yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Then what's the next thing mine does after it prints the input?
It puts the input, it changes the state of the board, right?
Yes, and um, I would even just say, okay, for now, the syntax for that is you do state or uppercase state for the variable,
Oh, okay, yeah.
and then hash gs. I think they need to all, I think that that's fine actually. and then open curly, turn equals, because that's the field you're modifying, and then opposite of whomst, right? Close curly, and then to make it a loop, what do you need to do?
Need to call it again.
You don't need new state equals. It's already, you already have your new state, right?
Right, so then just this.
Yep. And then I'm just going to tell you you have two. Yeah, you found your ant poop errors. Good job. All right. I think that should work. Give it a shot. Save, and then, oh, you haven't written print board. So we need to write print board and user input. And actually, because list chords and format board are unused, and those warnings are gonna be annoying for now. Um, actually, let's just write print board and user input first, and then we'll deal with the unused warnings. I was gonna suggest just commenting out those functions. It doesn't matter what you call it. You can call it X, you can call it Q, you can call it bananas.
Right. I
The
don't think you
label,
did this though, so I'm not too sure how to go about it. I mean, hold on. Print board. Okay, we're gonna go with thing.
okay, thing. And that goes to what?
Goes to, it's not empty board, right?
No, you already have the board that you want to print, which is thing.
Okay.
And then so what you want to do, so when you first, let's add as a first approximation, do IO colon format, and then open paren, tilde p tilde n, close quote, and then the list containing just thing. Yeah, and those are two separate arguments. Maybe as a habit, I see this in a lot of beginner Erlang tutorials, and I always thought it was silly, but I actually think it's a good habit, is never call IO format with just one argument. Call it with, even if you aren't printing any sort of parameters in there, call it with, if you're doing hello world, IO format, hello world, tilde n, and then comma, empty list.
Empty
And then
list.
you
Okay.
just get in the habit of never calling IO format with,
Okay.
okay, and then you have an ant poop error right under your cursor, actually. There you go. And then you also need to write user input. And for that, you need to call a function that I'm just going to tell you how to do that. So you need to write user input. Mm, what?
Mm. What's
So
hmm?
the way you called it on line 22, it doesn't have any arguments.
Oh, right. It gets an argument. Got it. Okay.
Okay,
User input
goes to,
goes to, how, what was the
okay,
thing you used to get?
it's IO colon get line, or, you know, Give me a second. I'm gonna,
Get underscore line.
yeah, get underscore line. And then it's the first argument is standard under IO, but it's an atom. One second. Let me change my profile on Twitter. Um, standard IO, and then the prompt, which is, whomever to play. For now, do just write uh, open quote, input colon space, close quote, and
Input.
then
Input.
you really
And
want to
then
write it as input with as in Mike, and then
what's the input,
then
boss? Oh, sorry, I'm done.
and
I'm
then
done.
just close paren period. That'll
Okay.
that'll be good enough for now.
And it's
Okay,
gonna
one
work.
second.
No.
No. Okay. So okay, for now. Oh, you need
Oh,
to
there's
run.
no
You
op.
need to.
Yeah. It's always the ops that get you, huh?
Um. Yeah. Second.
Op.
My screen.
Oh, I got this. This is really simple. X
There we go.
leads to O. Op O leads to X. Like that? Oh, and then semicolon, period. Like that?
Mm-hmm.
That works? Okay. Now we write. Oh, now we write. And we do the thing. And it gives me a bunch of shit, but it. Wait.
You never called into game loop. So here, actually, one. Okay.
Oh,
Let
true.
me let me solve my stupid problem. One second.
Okay.
Um. Uh. Uh. Okay. I'm not gonna run random terminal commands that AI told me to run. I'm just gonna jiggle my cursor every time I need to. Sorry, I'm running on my laptop and I don't have it plugged in, and so it's like being uber aggressive with its power saving. And so if I don't jiggle my mouse for 90 seconds, it turns the screen off, and it's really annoying. Um, Second, X set S no blank. Let's just try that. Okay, let's see if that fixes it. Um, so okay, so you need to edit. What do you need to edit so that you're actually calling into game loop?
I'm muted. Main.
Yeah, that's right.
IO format. GS. Okay, so I have to call game loop here.
That's correct.
Where?
That's
Before or
correct.
after the IO format?
I would
Or
just get rid of the IO format entirely
whoa.
because we're
Okay. Okay, thank you. Insert mode tab. Game loop. And then what is it? New game?
or you could write a function that was called new game, but I
Well,
would
don't
just
I have
do
fresh board? Oh, board format empty board.
that. But to initialize, so game loop doesn't take a board, it takes the game state, which has more information, particularly whose turn it is, right? So you need to initialize the empty game state, which is hash gs open close curly, right?
So do I need okay, hash GS open close curly like that? That's fine.
Yep. And then put a new line so that, your code.
It doesn't look dumb. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Now let's try this.
What the fuck?
Um,
Vim flippy
oh,
floppy.
just hit Control C or Q, hit Q. Okay. Hit colon Q.
What
Sorry.
have I done? No. Okay. Why is it up to Vim flippy floppy? What happened there? Okay.
um,
Empty. Input.
just type something random.
Bananas.
Just hit enter and see what happens. Okay. Um, okay, cool. Empty. Okay. And then remember mine also printed out, instead of just input, it said whomever to play.
Oh, right. Okay. So player's input is
No. It would be line 22 that you need to change. So your function user input is responsible for displaying the prompt input, right?
mm-hmm.
So in order to print X to play, user input needs what piece of information that it currently does not have?
Can you repeat that?
Okay, so user input, if
Uh-huh.
we look at like line 31,
Okay.
it's supposed to say X to play, right?
It is.
Or O
Okay.
to play. Okay. However, user input doesn't take any parameters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it has no way of knowing within the scope of that function whose turn it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, it needs a parameter on line 30, an argument for whose turn it is.
Okay.
Okay. So, yes. Okay. Now, yes. So now, yeah, there you go. There you go. You got it. Okay. Now that's not going to fix anything in terms of how the program actually operates. Hit save and run it. Let's just make sure there's no errors. Or hit
The
Control
fuck?
C to get out. Control C. Okay. And then,
Oh, I
okay.
have to
So it's
cancel
not
out
going to,
of it now. Got it. Okay.
yeah, hit, okay. So hit Control C to get out. Okay. Now, actually, we're going to do me a favor. Those unused warnings are annoying me. So go over to your code. Scroll down a little bit. Okay. So on line 59, is line 66 the last line in the file?
Yeah.
Okay. So go to line 59, go to the beginning of that line. It looks frozen again. Okay, no. Line 59, beginning of the line. Hit Control V. Okay, then go down to the beginning of line 66. Hit capital I, and then percent space, and then escape. See how it did that at the beginning of all of those lines?
Yes.
This is the thing that's nice about Vim. Can you also comment out using the same procedure, comment out list chords?
So one more time.
30, go, first of all,
Control.
you also need to comment out the type specs that go up one line. Control V.
Okay. Go down.
You see at the very bottom, it shows you what mode you're in. This is visual block mode. And then hit
Okay.
Shift I for insert, and then percent space. The space isn't necessary, strictly speaking. Okay, now save. Oh, RC and turn. Okay. I would also comment out line 10. Hit Control C. Oh, yeah, you get the point.
Just line 10?
Yeah. Okay, there you go. And then save and run again.
No, Control C.
Okay, now you see how the unused warnings, those are actually useful. And in this context, you see you're getting an unused variable warning, and that is actually telling you um, you you're supposed to be using that. You made that variable in order to use it for something, and you're not using it. So you probably made a mistake. That's why I was having you comment those out, is because you don't want to get in the habit of ignoring warnings. You want to get in the habit of eliminating warnings.
Okay.
Okay, so what, just think for a second and articulate using language. What, what sort of, what, what error that you made in terms of how you structured your code, error isn't quite the right term. What, why is that warning there?
Because Erlang has a personal issue with me.
Okay,
No, the warning is there because turn isn't used.
right. So why is it not used? And if you say because I didn't use it, I'm gonna
I mean,
I'm
is
gonna
that not the answer though?
that is the answer, but that's,
Why did I not use it? Because I didn't put it somewhere.
well, yeah, okay. So the point is, like, you get the point about why these unused error things
Yeah,
are
no, no,
useful
I
with,
do, I
yeah,
do, I
yeah,
do.
okay,
Where should I
okay,
put, how should I fix this is the question.
okay, okay. So
Okay,
here, what you need to do is you need to make a new line above line 31.
okay.
Okay, and hit tab, and then say prompt, capital prompt, is equal to io _lib :format, open paren, uh, open quote, tilde p to move. Here you actually do want a space. No, 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 no. You're actually making, okay, so let me actually go back, go over to your terminal. Actually make a new window and put it in the top right, a new terminal window. And blow it up so I can see. And then type ERL. Okay. Uh, do IO :format. Okay. Open paren. Open quote. Um, tilde p to move. Space to move. Um, tilde n. Close. And then remember what the rule with IO format is that we just talked about. Okay. Okay, now that will not work because it's expecting an argument for tilde p, and you provide it with an empty list. So just put in x instead. Okay, cool. Now replace IO with IO lib. So hit up arrow, or and then hit, yeah, there you go, IO under lib, and then hit it. Okay, so literally all this is doing is it's just making this IO lib is just making the string that eventually gets printed. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Right. You remember how we talked about the notion of a deep list or an IO list?
No, honestly, I don't.
Okay, do me a favor. So you see how actually start an open list and then copy the 32, 116, copy that whole sequence of integers, 32, 116, 111, 32, 109, 111, 118, 101, and 10, and then close. Don't run it yet. Hit period. Don't run it. Before you run it, I want you to tell me what you think the output of this is going to be.
To move?
That's correct. Hit enter. Okay. Now, because those are just the integers that correspond to those characters, right?
Right, right.
Okay. Now, in Erlang, we have this feature that is unusual in languages, where uh, when you go to like print a string, you don't have to pre-flatten it to a string. You can just make it kind of an arbitrary depth list. And so you don't have to at every stage flatten your string into a flat list of characters. You can provide like a really deep list of characters. And then at the time that it goes to print them, then it will flatten it and then print the flattened list. So um, on line 3, um, so hit up arrow a couple times to get to the IO_lib format call. Go to the beginning of the line, and then just type capital X is equal to. Okay, and hit enter. Then run lis colon flatten of X. See
Mm, okay.
that so IO_lib format is just a helpful function for I need to make a string that kind of looks like this. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So your prompt. So what I'm telling you to do is use IO_lib format to make your prompt, and
Okay.
your prompt is whoever to move, enter input move, whatever. And then yep.
Turn.
hmm And then you need to replace input on line 32 with prompt. You need to replace that whole string with just the variable prompt.
Oh, okay.
No, 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 no. You need standard IO as well. Standard IO tells it which device to read from. Standard IO is just the name for the terminal. Okay. All right, cool. Try running this and see what happens. Okay, so what mistake did you make?
What mistake did I make? You're the one I was doing what you told me to.
Well, you
What
did
mistake?
almost what I told you to.
Only variable prompt is
The
unused.
mistake
Well,
the mistake is that you didn't properly interpret what I told you to do.
okay.
There you go. Now you
Next
notice
move.
you put a new line in your prompt. You probably don't want that. You probably want colon and space instead of a new line.
Okay. Got it.
And you want to, okay, just try it. You notice how it doesn't put a space after the colon? Like you probably want there to be a space there if you want, or if you want to annoy me, don't put a space there. Or if you want to be really annoying, put a tab character there. That's fun. Yay, okay. Now we should probably also print a nicer looking board, don't you think?
Yes.
Okay, actually write some random input there and then hit enter. I just want to make sure it's swapping. Okay, got it?
Mm-hmm.
It's swapping the turns. Okay, cool. And then
Yes.
the next thing we want to do is to replace your empty, empty, empty shit with actually printing the board, right?
Yes.
All right. So what subroutine prints the board?
G. Print board.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Oh, hey, you're already thinking ahead.
We want to unlock this now.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I got
You
a
want to
text
delete?
message. It could be important. It's not important. Okay. Sorry. Yes, we unlock this format board.
Hit U actually a bunch of times. Okay. Oh. No. 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 Hit Control R to redo. Okay. Go back to. So when you're uncommenting it, go back to the everything. Hit go to line 60, beginning of the line. Control V, and then delete both the percent sign and the space. There you go. And then hit X. There you go. Done. And then save. All right. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So format board is unused. Why is it unused?
You know what I'm going to answer with that question. Why is it
Yeah.
unused? Because I didn't use it anywhere.
This is like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy tier code analysis.
Like I that's the extent of my knowledge. Like is the question where should I implement it? Like
Yeah, where should you be using it?
format
So you
board.
uncommented it, obviously with the intent because, oh, I'm going to need format board, right? Okay, where
Yes.
am I going to need it?
I'm going to need it in the loop.
Right.
Yeah, I need it in the game loop,
And which
right?
step in the game loop do you need it?
What step in the game loop? When they give me an input.
Is that it?
New state.
Hmm? What does format board do?
It makes it so
This
that I can change the variables on the spaces.
not quite. So on line 60,
Uh,
uh, go capital O. Write out a type spec for format board. So what's its input type?
its input type is a string of strings.
No.
It's an atom?
Well, it's a
No.
list of lists. It's a list of
Or
lists
list
of
of
what?
lists. Yes, that's what I meant when I said string of strings. Okay. That string of strings doesn't make any fucking sense. Yes, a list of lists.
A list of lists of what are A, B, C, D? What are all of those?
Those are cells. Those are
or we called them squares, but yeah, cells.
okay.
Okay. And then what type do you have that is an alias for list of square?
What type do I have that's an alias for lists of squares? Is it FSQ?
That's a
No, the type.
function. As a
Type.
hint, you can see that in the previous function, you're constructing a list of lists of squares.
A list
And
of
what is the
lists
output?
of atoms.
Yes, but our squares are the atom empty, the atom X, or the atom O, right?
Right.
That's the value of a square.
Right.
And then if we have a two deep list of squares, what is our term for that? Don't overthink it.
It's a row.
A row would be a single list.
A
And
two
if you
deep
have,
list. What do you mean by
so
two deep list?
you have a list of rows, right?
Yes. Yes.
A list of rows is what?
A list of rows is a grid.
Sure, and we called it instead of grid, what term did we use? As a hint, it appears on
Board.
54. Yeah, okay, so that's the input type for format board, right?
Oh shit. Okay, so board is a type. Fair enough.
Yeah,
Boward board. Okay.
and then it goes to, and then you don't know this, it's IO list, just just one string of characters, IO, not IO colon list, but just IO list, open, close paren,
Okay.
and then period, and then put, yeah, there you go. Okay, cool. So instead of thinking about, oh, I'm changing the character, like, no, this is the point of the type specs is that you don't have to go, what does format board do? Like, you can just at a very high level go, okay, it takes a board and gives me an IO list, and it's called format board. Okay, I can make an educated guess about what this does, right?
Fair enough. Okay.
Okay, now print board, that might be useful to add a type. It might even be useful to add one to FSQ, actually,
Okay.
for your own benefit. Add a spec for FSQ.
Takes. You said it wasn't a cell, but it was a
We called it a
square.
square.
Right.
Yeah.
Gives me a formatted square. Or used square?
We it just gives you a string. It's string open close paren. You could even make it IO list because strings are a subtype of IO lists. And then instead
Okay.
of the atom square, it's the type square. So you need open close paren after square, and you need a period at the end of that line. You notice, by the way, you're jumbling the Erlang syntax way less, and you're like, oh yeah, types. Obviously, I need open close paren after I give the name of the type. Duh. And I'm not having to tell you that a billion times. Having to tell
Yeah.
you that occasionally, but not every single time. Okay. Okay. So
So you're
now,
saying you're noticing improvement.
yeah, yeah.
Good,
Well,
because
and
I'm
it's,
not. I feel as stupid as I was on day one. So,
oh, no, no, no. Well, that's also part of the purpose of the videos is that it's not even that we record every single instance. It's more that, we record snapshots in time so that even though it feels like you're not making progress, you can go look on day one and you're like, oh God, how do I add two numbers together?
okay, yeah, fair enough. All right.
Okay, okay. So now you're, dealing with a whole tic-tac-toe board. All right.
Right. Fair enough.
Okay. So the whole purpose of editing format board and stuff was so that we could pretty print the board, right?
Hmm.
So which is in which function are we
The
printing the
reason we
board?
were editing format border so we could pretty print the function in main, in game loop.
Right.
Right.
So is it in game loop or is it in one of the subroutines you defined?
Print board.
Right. There you go. And currently you're just printing the actual Erlang term. And so instead, what you want to do is what?
Don't I have something for new board? Empty board? No.
You do have empty, but you don't need to think about the empty board, right?
Okay.
You have a board already, and in the
Right.
future, this is going to have, X's and O's in it. And what you want is a string representation of that board, right? Or an IO list representation.
Right.
Okay, so do you have a function that given a board gives you back an IO list?
Format board.
Yeah,
Right. Okay, so I want to use format board in print board.
right.
Okay. So instead of thing, we do format board thing.
Yes, that's correct.
Damn it. Damn it. Okay.
Okay, and there's one, so when you run it, it's going to print out a bunch of gobbledygook. And
Oh,
there's one more change you need to make to that line in order to, okay, well, actually print it or just run this and see what the gobbledygook looks like and see if you figure out what you need to do.
I need to put line breakers.
No, you have line breakers. See the \ns there?
Yeah, but why are they not breaking lines?
Because you are just literally printing so
Oh,
go back to print board. It's not an issue with format board. It's on line 28. It's how you are choosing. So you're
oh,
yeah.
S.
So you're telling it, how do you format the data that I'm giving you? And if you say P, it'll just say, oh, this is the data. This is what it looks like. But if you're telling it, no,
No,
actually,
it's not, moron. It looks like this. Haha.
there we
Okay.
go. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Then, type in some
X
random
move.
garbage.
Some random garbage.
There we go. Okay,
Player's
cool.
input is some random garbage.
All right, you got it.
Can I change that? Hold on. Not player's input. I want whomst's input. How do I do multiple variables? I just do another tilde p
Yep. And yep.
input tilde 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 p space input is, and then I do, what is it, a separate like comma?
No, it's in the list of parameters. So it would be
Okay,
whomst comma input.
damn it. Whomst. And then I go over here and I do apostrophe s.
There you go.
Look at me figuring shit out.
You aren't. There's zero chance on probably last time you could have figured that out, but like 2 times ago, you no. All right, cool. All right, so that's the point where mine was. So let's switch back to me.
Yay.
All right. I think this is also well, we'll see how this continues. Share. Okay. So okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change my pretty printing of the board and my formatting of the board. So it's going to print the board with coordinates on the side. Does that make sense? So no, Uh,
You wanted to do A1?
yeah, so this, um, and I'm just, oh boy. Um,
I see it went from sunny to cloudy where you are.
mhm. It does, it do be like that sometimes. Okay, I'm just going to,
I don't think it be like it is, but it do.
people don't think it'd be like it is, but it do. Timeless wisdom. Um,
It's like a great quote, but like the vocabulary on it is just so awful.
and then, okay, let's just, okay, this is how it be. Um, actually, let's just go here. I just am just aping my way through this, and these will be, no, these will be, All right, and I need pipes here. Um, and then let's center this so that it's okay. Cool, cool. Okay, and then we'll do like A1. Right. Okay, cool. Um,
No, this looks like a pain in the ass. I don't want to do
okay,
this. No, it's fine. I'll do it. I'll do it.
okay. This thing where you print the board like this. Do you want? Um,
Am I dumb? Don't the numbers go on the top and the bottom, and then the letters go on the side? Or is
in
chessboard
chat
notation?
in I guess we could put the numbers on the bottom if you want.
No, the numbers do go on the side. You're right.
Yeah. Um, okay, cool.
The
So
letters on the
input
bottom side are fine.
moved.
I'm losing brain power fast.
Why is that?
I don't know. ADD's kicking in. I'm getting jumpy.
Okay, cool. Okay, so input to move. Okay, cool. So prompt. So I'm going to actually, you see how here I'm just putting the user input inside the game loop, and for you, I had it um, putting that inside. So game loop. Um, so move user input, and for now, okay, whomst XO. And then this is, for me, it's going to return a row and a column, right?
Mm,
Right. So I want to know which square the user intends to change, right?
right.
Ah, right. User input gets a row and a column. Okay. Um, so the user input is the line, and I'm just going to, for now, and then, okay. Now, I'm just going to print RC11 for now. So no matter what, it just returns RC11, right? But it prints out the user input.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so move. So this is going to be the move, which is the square, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then, well, for now, we're actually just going to print the move. Um, right? Okay, so we run it, A1, okay, and the move is RC11. Okay. Um, so our user input is a string that looks like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we need to do is somehow get that string and parse it, okay? Now to parse the string, so let's just write parse move user input. Okay. Um, that's going to be our return value. And for now, so this has done no change whatsoever, right? All I
Right.
did was, okay, so parse move, it takes a string and returns a row column, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So S. Now notice that our string has a new line at the end, right? I don't want to deal with that, right? I want to just deal with the two characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. And actually, what I'm gonna do, I'm not actually gonna. Okay, it occurs to me that there's going to be a problem with the way that I've structured this, and I was going to preemptively rewrite it, but actually I think it'll be more instructive to run into the problem and then see how I choose to work around it. Okay, parse move. So first thing I want to do is get rid of that new line and white space and shit at the end, right?
Okay.
So I'm just going to call it S2 is string colon chomp of S. And all of this does is just remove all the crap at the end.
Oh,
Okay?
nice. Okay.
Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is case S2 of, actually, parse move the second of S2. Okay?
Okay.
And parse move the second. Now, here, we're just going to assume that from the user, we got two things. We got the, actually, I'm just going to do IO format chomp move. Okay. So the chomped move is just X, right?
Okay.
So the original input was X and a new line, and the chomped move is just X.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pattern match on call letter. And our string is just two characters, right? If the
Right.
user provides a valid input, it'll be like A1 or what, oops. Um, call char and then row char, right?
Right.
Okay. Um, so call is equal to call of call char. Mm, okay, I'm just gonna do it this way. Okay, now to parse the column. So I'm going to make it case insensitive. So $1 is the ASCII code point, or the integer that when you print it as a character prints the, you know, prints the digit, the character one. That's what that
Okay.
means, right?
Right.
Right. Okay. Parse row of $1 is 1. And this should be parse row of row char. Okay, cool. So we're going to write A3. Cool. The user's input is whatever. Now I'm going to do B2. See, gets it all right. Cool. What happens if I type in something else? What's going to happen if I like make a typo?
You skip your turn?
It's just going to crash the program,
Oh.
right? So given that, this is going to be a common thing, this is why I was saying, oh, I actually want to redo this to think about it a little bit more carefully. Okay, so um, I have to go pee. So how about, and it's cold, so I'm going to go back inside. Did you give up on that? It looks like.
I don't even try, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
How about at least print out the A, B, C, and 1, 2, 3, just so that next time you don't have to go, oh, which one's A? Is it one from the top or one from the bottom? How about
Okay.
that? Yeah. Hi, buddy. I'm gonna
Yeah, I know
sit
how
down.
to do that.
You can be in my lap. Hi, bud. Ah, whoa. You didn't like that? Come here. Come here, honey. Babies. Come here.
I don't remember how you did it.
Um, you just need to, sorry, I've got like 100 cats in here. Let's see. You just, you just put like 1 colon in front of each line. So open paren or open quote, 1 colon space, close quote. And then comma. You need commas after the quotes. Oh, actually, you might not. I'm not sure, actually. Anyway, space or comma space. There you go. And then just do that on each line. Come here, sweetheart. You can come. Come on. Come here. Come here. Hi, baby. Are you going to swat me in the face in the middle of the meeting again? Oh, shit. Sweetheart. If it's just a single string, So the commas are needed um, between like the strings and function calls, but if it's just a string, you can just put it all together. It really doesn't matter. You're going to have way too many spaces. And then you want a new line. You want after C, put \n. And go back or try running it and see what happens. Okay. So I would put some spaces at the beginning of that string. Put 3 spaces actually, exactly 3, and then delete the letters between or delete the spaces between the letters. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. Okay, now, so I didn't finish my parsing logic, so can't remember. I'm not going to actually have you, let me think for a second. First of all, let me switch to different headphones that have a longer cable. 1 second. Actually, if I have the speaker on, or you get here, talk and see if you're getting feedback.
Test 1 2 1 2 test. No feedback. We're good.
Okay, cool. It's easier for me. Put my headphones away. And then I gotta grab my laptop. So I think a good goal. 1 second. I have the code on my laptop still, and so I need to push it so that I can. Right. Okay. Yep. And you almost. So I understand what you're trying to do. It's not a wrong idea. This is a situation where you do need to think a little bit carefully about how you structure the program. 1 second. Close. Um, Hi, buddy. Alrighty. Okay, you got it.
Yeah, so
Right.
I put parse input before we make the new state of the board and after they give me the input. And then I chomp it so that it gives me no backslash n, and then I do something for real with it over here. How
Yeah.
do I
So
how do I do the
you want to pull out the characters.
yeah,
So you recognize the fact that input is going to be a list of characters, right?
right?
So instead of input on line
Oh.
32, just replace it with row a list with two items, row char, or it's call char and row char.
How do I do for each?
You don't want you don't necessarily need to do a for each. I would parse the call, so I would do call equals parse call of call char, row equals parse row of row char. And then I don't know if you were using my RC type, but then maybe just return RC comma row comma call and a tuple. No, you don't ever need the keyword return, just the last value that is produced in the function. And it's just a tuple. So open curly RC comma the row comma the call. There you go. So what does RC stand for?
Row column.
Okay, now why do I put the RC label there? It's for humans.
Because you're stupid and you don't realize that column comes before row.
Right. So I do RC just so that I don't screw up, don't make precisely the mistake that you just made. That's the whole reason that
It
I
wasn't a mistake, man. It was an oversight. It's not the same
okay.
thing. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
You sound like that's some like hardcore lawyer speak. All right. So for this, and it's parse call is taking a character, right?
Mm-hmm.
One
Does
second.
that change anything?
Um, well, I instead of just assigning it to call, I would just hard match on is it $A, $B, $C, and
Oh, okay.
the way that I
Okay.
was doing it.
How do I copy the whole line? To V?
YY. You have to get into normal mode. So hit escape, hit YY, and then 5P. Oh, well, because you deleted the spaces, so that's what was on the clipboard. So
I'm gonna kill somebody. All right, that's fine.
You want control V to do the block editing. And then hit capital A to append. There you go. And actually hit U a few times. U. Delete all the arrows. I'm going to show you something. Hit control V. Then go down to the left, and then hit capital A. Space. There you go. Cool. See. Okay, now this should go to what? A should go to what? Which column does the letter A refer to?
The A column, 1.
Yes.
So what, just to 1?
Yep.
Does it need a span? 3. 1, 2, I got 3. Okay.
Then you need semicolons and a period. Here, hit control V. Yeah.
Don't tell me what to do, man.
All right, you're learning Vim pretty impressively. Now, okay, there you go.
Control A, but it's not all the same. Wait, is it?
It
Yeah,
just
it
hit
is.
semicolon and then you have to change one. You just have to change the last one to a period. And then you also need parse row. But that one's a little easier because it's only 1, 2, and 3. And then on line 24, you notice that you're parsing the input and then not doing anything with that result. It's just
Mm-hmm.
that result is being discarded. So probably you want, just call it foo is equal to parse input of input and then IO format of then foo is just a generic variable. So and then new line above your current cursor. IO colon format open paren quote tilde p tilde n and then just comma open square foo. Okay, let's try this. Uh, 33.
Yeah, I need a square
Oh, yep,
bracket.
yep. I didn't even catch that. And you number one figured it out, and yeah, good job, dude. You would have just gone, it's because the computer hates me. Okay, cool.
Thought I chomped it. X's input is, oh, so I
Right,
didn't
because,
chomp it here.
well, yeah, you haven't done that. You do that inside of parse input.
But it's doing it before parse input.
No, parse input is taking input, which is what you're printing on line 23.
Now X's input is A2/N. So I'm doing it here above parse input.
Yeah, you're printing out the raw string that the user inputted.
Oh, is that fine? Okay.
Yeah. And then you're parsing that raw string on the next line, 24.
Right.
Does that make sense?
RC, yeah, RC2, 1. Okay.
Hmm.
Wait, that's not right. Row 2 OEAD is right. Should be column row for using chess notation. That's what's confusing me. All right, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but yeah, you get the point.
Yes, I get the point. Okay, this is how far you got?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So let me take over the sharing.
All right, I
I
might
want.
have to call it soon because I do want time to do some other stuff today. But yeah, let's go over one
Okay,
more
cool.
thing. Let's do one
Okay.
more thing.
So what I was thinking would be a good goal would be um how about our goal is we don't crash on invalid moves. We just prompt the
Oh,
user
okay.
again.
Sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So user input, we're going to get an RC, right?
Right.
Okay. So I'm actually going to think ahead. Mm, this will be too hard for you to do in one move. What I was going to do is enumerate the legal moves, and then that way, if the user prompts for puts in a square, but we can do that a different situation. We can do that as a different step. So next step is going to be if the user inputs something invalid, um, we are just going to say try again, asshole.
Okay.
Um, okay. So okay. Okay. So user input is that, and then we're gonna parse the move. So notice here that parse move, you give it a string, it returns a row and column, right?
Yes.
Okay, so instead, and the thing is that if we get an invalid string, it has no idea how to handle that and it just crashes, right?
Right.
So instead, what we're gonna do is return either okay or um, error. And um, um, does this make am I screen sharing? I am.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So parse move, it returns either okay move or error reason. Okay. So string chomp s. Now what I'm going to do is instead of all of this, I'm just going to kind of ape through it. So I'm going to do case s2 of um um and then this is right. So A1 goes to 1 1, A2 goes to 1 2 1. You get the point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then this is going to be for lowercase a. And then for the B's, we're going to do the B's, and then these are all going to be, right? And then
Yes.
B's, and then we'll do the C's. And then for anything else, we're going to just say, oh, for all of these actually all need to be, by the way, if you go to so here I did Control V, hit all of these, hit A, and then put in a close curly, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I hit period, it just does the last action again.
Mm, okay.
Okay, so I can go down here and hit period, and it just does the same thing.
Oh shit. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, that's a time saver. So here, if I didn't get one of, so I've just enumerated every possible valid input. And then here, I'm just going to do error um, invalid.
Wrong. Valid. Invalid answer, asshole. That's what you said to put.
Um,
Do it again, asshole.
oh yeah, try again.
Try again, asshole. Yeah, that's what it was.
Right. Okay. Okay. And we don't need parse move the second or any of this actually.
Oh,
Right.
nice.
So here's what we're gonna do is we're
Wait,
gonna
we
do
don't?
case. No, because we're all of this logic about parsing the column and the row, I already just
Mm.
put into this case clause.
Oh, you just did. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I
Okay.
just did it inline. Um, okay, it's the sniper mode. That's right, so that you can see my cursor. That's annoying me. Okay, now
Okay.
here, user input parse move. We're gonna do case parse move of. So here, if we just run this, I don't know if it'll run. So I'll just do A7, A4. Okay, so user's input is A4. X move is error, try again, asshole. Right? But notice now that it's switched to O to move, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so instead, right here, before we return that back to the top, we want to go case of okay, move, and then we return move. Then error reason, and then we're just going to do so user input is going to be a loop, you see?
Right.
So let's try this again. Okay. Okay, cool. User input is that. All right. Do you want to try doing this and then we can call it?
Sure.
All right. You got to reshare.
Fuck Peter Harpending. I'm sharing now.
Yeah. Good attitude.
Okay. So, first order of business was shit. What was the first order of business?
So
It was
you see how you're doing input equals user input of something? and then you're parsing that afterwards from within game loop, the
Yeah.
call to parse input should not come from game loop. It should call from within user input. So another way to think about this is that line 22,
Uh-huh.
user input in mine is returning a move. So it's returning a row column pair. And
Right.
so from the perspective of the game loop, um, it should return me a valid row column pair no matter what.
Okay.
Okay. So the outcome of that is going to just be the unchomped line. You could call that the GOI line, and then the chomped one could be,
The Jew line?
well, what's the opposite of GOI in like,
Jew.
well, yeah, I know that, but like there's going to be a word in whatever, like it's not Hebrew, it's the German, it's the one that's similar to German in Yiddish. Goy is a Yiddish word, right?
I
Um,
think so. I know Goy, Gentile, as
yeah,
opposed to
I don't know. Let's just call it Goy and Jew. That's a good.
okay, sure.
What here? I'm gonna look that up
Cool it with the
actually.
anti-Semitic remarks.
No, actual anti-Semitism is fine.
Okay.
This is YouTube, okay? We love Palestine.
Right. Oh,
And
right.
unless and wait, unless in depending on how YouTube is funded, we either love Palestine or Israel.
Right.
But we definitely have a very strong opinion, and whichever opinion is correct, that's the one we have.
Of
But
course, yes.
I don't know which opinion is correct as far as YouTube is concerned.
Um,
Um, um,
it doesn't matter if I'm calling this down here, right? It'll still go up here to get the function. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Am I doing this here? I get lines. Okay, hold on. No, not here. Put it here. How about you suck a bag of dicks, Vim?
well,
No, this doesn't work, does it? Okay. Sorry, my brain is
well,
already
you
shutting off.
you
No, no,
want
no.
so okay, yeah, yeah,
No,
I'll
no,
let
no,
you
no,
figure
no,
it
no.
out.
Go. So what were you gonna say?
So you're parsing input. You're call what the data that you're sending to parse input is the output of IO get line, correct?
Of course it is. Yes. I knew
So,
that. I was testing you. Okay.
uh-huh.
So,
You can just put the IO get line stuff inside of parse input if you want. Or you could do input equals IO get line and then just call parse input.
I'll get line standard IO prompt. Is prompts? No. Okay, I'm gonna do it the way that you said. Parse input. Wait, so you're saying delete this and just put that in here?
Yeah, that's one approach. Or you could do um
What the fuck?
well, you deleted the whole line, and so here, actually hit paste again. Now go to the
Uh,
end of 55, delete the open, delete the close paren and the comma, and then go into normal mode, hit capital J, Shift J. There you go. That's for join lines.
ah, okay. Oops.
You need another close paren.
Yeah.
Um, what word is that? Yiddish.
Okay, and then this is where I do, before there's a period, I go next line, and then I go, okay, is what?
Hmm?
What? Where do I do okay or error?
Person. Oh, I see. You need to do. I see what you're trying to do. You okay? So I would do on line 55.
Hmm.
Do case parse input of, or like maybe uh keep the other close paren, change it, go into insert mode, space OF, enter, END, hit escape, go to the beginning of 55 and type case, and then new line, tab, open curly, okay, move, okay, or okay, comma, and it'd be capital move. Wow, your brain is really turning off. Okay. Okay, move, close, goes to move, right? We just return the move, and then semicolon, new line, and then error message. In that case, goes to new line, enter, tab. Print the error message. It's tilde s tilde n. And then not quite. You don't put a period, and then comma, and then what do you do given that the user gave an erroneous input? What do we do again? What do we do?
You run it again?
Correct.
Well, what am I running here? I'm not running
You're
game
not
loop.
going back into the game loop. You're inside. So here the game loop has a subroutine of get the user input. And get user input is a subroutine that says, did I get valid input? Yes or no. If I didn't, try again. And if I did, return that. Yeah, there you go. Okay. No, you don't need a semicolon because the end basically the keyword end is similar to the semicolon, except it means and there are no more cases.
Ah, okay, got it.
Okay, and instead of user input, it's user.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Those German lessons are getting to me. Okay, yeah, that was way funnier than it should have been. Fuck. Okay,
Okay, now next thing you need to change is parse input.
parse input. Right. Okay, that's up here. Okay, so uh, um,
I would delete parse input. I would delete everything from line 30 through 46. You can maybe keep it as a reference, but I would just delete all of that. There you go. Just hit D. Right. And then case chomped of.
uh-huh. It goes to.
No, of is the same thing as goes to in the context of a case statement.
Okay. Chomped. So
Yep.
one,
So
one.
it's not quite 1 1. It's $A and $1, right?
Oh, right. Row column. No, it'd be $1 $A. No.
Well, the input type is column row and the return type is row column.
Okay.
Right. There you go. $A, $1, close square. That goes to
Something. I'll worry about that in a second.
A1, A2. What are you trying to do? Okay.
The fuck? How did we get here?
Hi.
No. No. A, B, 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 C, C, C. What the hell are these two doing? Okay. The fuck? Okay. Yes. Do I have to do capitalized versions as well?
You can actually shortcut this. So on line 30,
Mm-hmm.
replace chomped, like actually put chomped in parens. And then on 30, do string, or right before that. So go string colon case fold. And then, yeah. So string case fold is basically converts everything to lowercase. There are
Hmm.
some languages that have like weird rules about lower and uppercase. Turkish is, I know, one of them. But basically, all this does is it allows you to do case insensitive comparisons of strings.
Right. Okay.
And then you're going to need a case for it's none of them. No, well, that will match on only one single character. So there you go. And then that goes to error, try again, asshole, right? No, 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 no. You don't want an IO format there. Well, you could choose to put it there, but the way that I structured it is that parse input just returns okay or error. So I would do uh, open curly error comma, and then the string try again, asshole. Asshole.
This is my own private domicile. Okay.
And then yeah, so
This is
hit J
bothering me.
to.
I don't care if it's proper notation or not. There.
There we
Okay.
go. And then your the whole case statement is going to need an END period at the end.
Right. Okay. What about what do I? These are just okay.
They're okay, and it's okay, comma the so it's the tuple. The first element of the tuple is okay, comma, and then the second element is the row column notation for the move. I would I can't
What
remember.
the
Can you
fuck?
scroll up? Can you scroll up to the top of your file? Okay, so uncomment 10. Okay, go back down. Add a type spec to parse input. Or its spec of parse input. We're almost done. And then you can go take your nap. Of just string open close paren, and then goes to uh, open curly, okay, comma, RC open close paren, uh, close curly, space, pipe, space, open curly, error, comma, either string or term. Close, no, open close paren. String is the atom string. So string open close paren is the type string. That makes sense. And then you need a period at the end of your type spec. Okay. Yeah, and you want to surround that with okay.
What do you mean I want to surround that with okay like this?
You need okay, comma, or open
Oh,
open curly,
open curly. Okay,
okay,
comma.
RC11, close curly, semicolon.
So I don't need these like that?
No, 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 no. Because the RC term is one term. So if you did okay, comma, RC, comma, 1, that would be a tuple. That would be a single tuple containing 4 fields, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you want a single tuple containing 2 fields, and the second field is the tuple RC row column, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So, okay. Do you want me to show you how to do that paste without fucking everything up?
Yes.
Okay. Hit U. Okay. Go back to the end of line 32 and add a semicolon. That's the first thing. Nope. Okay. Now hit escape. Hit V. Go to right before the arrow. So include the space. Hit Y. Now just go to the next line and hit P. Then just, yeah, just do that on each line. There you go.
That's what I fucking did, I swear.
Okay. And now remember, you have to transpose columns and rows. There you go. 2, 3. You meant 3, not 2. And then B needs to go to column 2. All right, that should probably work. Hit Control C. Let's try again. Okay, go to line 24. Yeah, just delete line 24. That's fine. Hit save and try running it. Try typing a good move. Okay. Yay. Yay. Okay, cool. Uh, oh, you did type it. I thought you just typed C, and I was like, what? No. All right, perfect. All right, we're done. Good job.
Yay.
All right.
We
So the next thing that we're gonna do,
just finished
I
the
want you to,
game.
well,
What's that?
there's that. So there's kind of 2 big steps left, actually, and then the next project I have in mind. So the next big step is in our user input.
Mm-hmm.
What we're going to do is it's going to now need two parameters. Um, it's going to also, because if let's imagine that the board is somewhat populated. So first thing we need to do is when we get back the move from the user, we need to change the state of the board so that, whoever's turn it is, we put, X at the coordinate that X told us, right?
Right.
Okay, so that's item number one. Item number two
Because we
is
can't
that,
have somebody put a move in where there's already been a move.
right. So in user input, we're going to need to enumerate all of the current legal moves. And if okay, well we then there's two kind of layers of error. Either the user gave us a move that was valid syntax but is a move that's illegal. Okay, that's layer 1, or they didn't give us valid syntax at all, which is layer 0. So we've kind of solved the first one, which is okay, is it, valid syntax or not? What was I going to say? And then so the next sort of step is enumerate all the legal moves. And that's actually really simple. You have to write something that, oh, you've already written something, I think, that, given a coordinate tells you the what what the value of the square is. It's either empty x or o, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you already have a function that lists all the coordinates. So you just list all the coordinates and then filter based on the square at that coordinate is empty. So those are the legal moves, right?
Yeah.
That's the
Okay.
rule.
Yeah.
Okay, and so if the user inputs a move and it parses and it's not one of those, then you chimp out. Um, then the step after that, so once we've got it so that, we can only input moves that are not, or that are, valid squares or whatever. Um, at that point, the next step is the win conditions, which again is not that hard. You just enumerate every single one of them. The first row, the first, second row, the third row, first column, second column, third column, the, positive or the negative diagonal and the positive diagonal, and that's it. And you just check, are all three of them the same thing? Are all three of them X or all three of them O? And it's just, it's a lot of code, but it's not complicated. It'll look like you're parsing logic there. Um, and then, yeah, then when somebody wins, the game is over. That's that. So that'll be the end of this project, and I imagine we'll be able to get all of that done next time. Do you want to
Awesome.
know what I have? Do you want to know what I have planned for the project after this? Or you want me to surprise you?
Solving world hunger? No.
This
What's the?
is
Tell
this
me.
is slightly more difficult because world hunger is already a solved problem.
Oh, I
Um,
see. Okay.
um, the what was I going to say? So, this this is kind of teaching you one sort of category of programming skills, sort of, which is how to sort of engineer software, which is thinking about sort of how do I sort of manage the system at sort of a high level of, okay, I need this piece of information, this piece of, how do I get sort of all the gears to spin in the correct order, right? It's more of this is kind of like a logistics problem almost.
Mm-hmm.
What information do I need when, and how do I get it, right? That's
Okay.
the sort of question here.
Yeah.
The the other type of programming, which in my opinion is a lot more fun, is the sort of mathematical algorithmic type of programming. So writing hash algorithms, cryptography, path finding, the stuff that's where you have to think about kind of a mathy problem. So the next the next the next project is going to be a tic-tac-toe solver. So you're going to write an opponent for yourself that
Mm.
plays the game perfectly.
Oh,
And you can also write, if you write one that plays perfectly, it's pretty easy to write one that will never let you lose either, which is fun, that it
okay.
forces you to win. Um, and so both of those problems, think about the problem of enumerating the valid inputs and making sure the input is one of those, then the win conditions. So that's problem one to think about. That's not going to be too hard. That's pretty straightforward. Um, Second problem that's a lot harder is to think about how do you write a program that solves tic-tac-toe? And that is pretty tricky.
Hmm. Okay. That's more of like a
So
logic. Okay, yeah.
that's a logic problem. And my piece of advice is that um, as far as the tic-tac-toe thing, is the trap, if you're maybe a average or above average programmer, that you're going to fall into, below average programmers would just never think of this, is trying to do premature optimization and saying, oh, well, I can't do an exhaustive search because, there's too many possibilities. And so I need to find some way to limit how much stuff I'm searching through. And
Hmm.
so that I only, okay. And because it's tic tac toe, um, if you just count, okay, at the beginning of the game, how many moves can you possibly make? So empty grid, how many available moves are there?
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
So how many available moves are there?
How many, like in tic-tac-toe?
Yes, at the
If the whole
beginning.
board is empty, there's 9 moves.
Okay, cool. So supposing one move has been made, how many moves are available?
8 moves.
Eight. Okay, and then supposing two moves have been made, how many are available?
6 moves.
So two moves have been made,
Yeah.
X and O. They
Right.
each take up
Oh,
one square.
then 7 moves. I thought you meant 2 moves from that previous.
No, no, no.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
Like, is he stupid? Like, wait a second.
no.
Okay. No.
So ignoring win conditions, the
Mm.
absolute, you can put an upper bound on the number of possible tic-tac-toe games. And if you do 9 factorial, which is 9 times 8 times 7 times 6, right? That's how many possible games there are.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that is like 360,000 games. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you just conservatively say, okay, I'm going to write a thing that plays through, given the current position, every possible game, and you say, okay, let's just suppose that each game takes 1 kilobyte of memory to represent,
Okay.
and there's 362,000 possible games,
I see the
right?
problem.
Okay, but that's still only 362 megabytes of memory, which is not a lot of memory on a modern computer.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So if you're trying to solve something like chess, yeah, you need to be really, really, really aggressive in cropping your search space because uh, you know, 9, 10 moves ahead, there could be, more moves, more possible games than there are atoms in the universe. But with tic tac toe, you don't have that problem. You can just exhaustively search. And so, given the fact that you don't need to think about that optimization type problem, think about, okay, how would I solve tic tac toe? And maybe play it a little bit yourself and think through, how am I thinking about this?
Right. Okay.
Right. All right. So I'll leave you with that. The tic-tac-toe solver, that took me several hours to do, and I have a stream where you could watch me struggling through it if you
Oh,
wanted.
fun.
Um,
Okay.
but the reason it took me so long was because I was like, oh, I need to optimize this, and so I coded in a bunch of premature optimizations that turned out to not be necessary. And so that was a lesson I learned, which was, okay, just anytime you have a problem that you're solving and you're like, oh, I need to optimize this, it's worth especially when it's a finite bounded problem like tic-tac-toe, it's worth just doing a back of the envelope calculation and saying, okay, what is my worst possible case that I'm dealing with here? And assuming I do no optimizations, can I handle that case? And if the answer is yes, then why bother doing any sort of optimization at all?
Okay.
All right,
All right.
I'll
Cheers.
let you go. See ya.
Yeah.
Bye.
Take care. Thank you, Peter.